Hey guys, Veebat here with another V Plays, and we are on the next weekend of the Red Comet, and we are doing the escort mission. We're keeping these bombers safe en route to the zone. I think I figured the game mode out because I never read, I just go straight in, headstrong. But since I'm on the bomber team, my goal is to get these bombers to the other side of the map, and we need to tally a total of 10 of my bombers making it all the way through to bomb an off-screen target. So we have 46, 45, 44 seconds till the next bomber wave comes in. There's 13 in this wave. That's I'm reading across the top right now. And then there's these two air defense sites. The one air defense site is directly in the path of my bombers, and if I don't take out some of that site, it's going to make it harder for my bombers to get through. So I do have a multi-role. I'm going to be able to defend my bombers, and I'm going to be able to go after this ground site, so that's what we're doing. We do have a player in an F-86, and we do have a player in an HG-3. I'm worried about the F-86 because in a head-to-head fight, he's going to win. But it looks like he's completely ignoring me for whatever reason, and that makes my life a lot easier because 4 30mm Aidens is just going to rip him to shreds. I'm going to ignore all this mess going on. Well, I guess I'm not. I'm going to kick my nose up and I'm going to shoot a couple of aircraft here, but I do have some air-to-ground ordnance that I will use eventually, apparently. I just can't remember because this match went on forever. It's such a long match. It's going to take about 15 minutes, give or take. But that's why it's such a good battle, is because we just have so much time and opportunity to do work. You can tell that I haven't flown this plane in a while because I'm having a lot of problems getting these guns to make contact, but it doesn't matter because we're going to be doing our darndest to be able to try and flip this site, which just flipped itself. Finally get a chance to drop my bombs, get to take a breather, and I can't even do it. Well, we apparently damaged somebody, so let's go ahead and get back to the flight. But there's the F-86 again. Probably not a plane that I should ignore. Let's get those guns on. I said let's get those guns on. Get a little bit of a hit. Not too good there. I thought he was going to give me a chance here and fly in a straight line again, but apparently not. I decided to go for an out-of-plane maneuver, hopefully catching him off guard. But it looks like I've got a... There's a lot of I-60s in this match. Or, sorry, LA-160s in this match, and it becomes quite a pain in a butt to try and get away from those guys. So we're able to get on this F-86. We took him out. Again, seeing players is the most dangerous threat, but there's a swarm on my bombers right now, and I would love to be able to defend them, but I think I'm the only one heading that way. No, it looks like I've got a couple of other fighters, but we may be too little too late at this stage, because we got to get some of these guys in there in order to hopefully be able to capture the enemy zone. If they take out the entire bomber flight and we get none across the line, that's a little bit of a crush to our morale here. The good news is these bombers are actually going to be putting out some damage too, trying to hurt the enemy the whole time. And again, there's that LA-160 doing some nasty damage. There's a lot of LA series aircraft in this match, actually. I was quite surprised. There's the LA-15, and then there is an HG-2. Knocked him out. Dipping the nose, trying to get away. I'm like, you know what? We got one bomber left. He should be able to make it across the zone. We got a bunch of people in that same general area. No joy. Oh, no, I take it back. We managed to get one across the line, so we just need to get 9 more bombers. Just 9. That should be easy, right? So I'm going to come in here. I want to drop these ordnance because, you know, it's also going to help me with my specialist because we're trying to get specialist in this airframe. And the Hawker Hunter in this game is very much going to be kind of a bomb-dropping air-to-ground aircraft, a true multi-role with a lot of air-to-ground ordnance. There we go. Killing aircraft in the zone works just like any other zone that we've had in a different game mode, so we were able to flip that zone, fortunately, despite me dying there. And it is another LA aircraft. It's the LA-15. Respawn time, fortunately, isn't too long. And we are going to head back into the fight. Try and dip that nose, get a little bit of airspeed. There is a huge hornet's nest around that bomber flight. We do have a few that look like they're standing still, and we look like another set of bomber flight is about to come in. I'm trying to figure out what these timers are. The timers are indicating how long it's going to take for those ground sites to respawn. These two bomber flights that are about to come in are going to come in on the periphery, while we'll have a third central bomber flight coming in the middle. The two on the periphery are only going to consist of 9 bombers, while the one in the middle is going to be a bit heftier. Looks like we managed to get a few more aircraft through on the bomber side, and I see that this is about to come back in 5 seconds, so right now I'm not getting shot by AA, which is nice, but I know that site's going to come back up by the time those bombs hit, and we'll already have a bit of a leg up for capturing the zone. The attacker is the closest airframe, but it looks like he's actually climbing and pulling away from us, so I'm going to look for a target that's a little bit easier to get up after. You'll see that the Hawker is really good at being able to fly outside of its normal altitude envelope because it has such strong engine power. Getting a few hits on that aircraft, but I don't want to stick on it because I'm just going to put myself right in the sights of the aircrafts that are currently shooting me, which is never good. And we are getting hit pretty hard. What are you? Are you an LA-15? You better not be another LA-15 on me. Oh, well, one of them looks like it just got knocked out, but nope. Another LA-15. I think it's the same guy, Gleb. But we're already up to 13,000 personal points. Because the matches go so long, and there's so many targets, and everybody's respawning so quickly, it doesn't really matter that much. It doesn't hurt that we're killing ground targets, too. Alright, we got 2 more seconds. It looks like our third flight is coming in, and it's a little bit heftier than the other 2 flights, so that's going to be arguably the more important one for making it through the areas. We're going to dip that nose. We want to try and defend this site that's to the north, because the northern grouping of bomber aircraft is actually has the most enemies on it right now, and I figure the other one should be alright with a single defense aircraft that's flying with it. But realizing that that's probably going to be a bit of a lost cause, because this group right above me is actually going to be the more important due to the larger volume, and I'm considering the other 2 distractions. I'm just trying to come in here with my rockets and take out just the guns. I don't care so much about taking out the sites and capturing the zone, because as a multi-role, when a site is red, it's actually going to be a lot easier for me, because I usually don't have enough air-to-ground ordnance to be able to destroy entire sites, but if you can damage a site, it actually helps a lot for bots being able to flip the rest of that area, because bots will typically go for sites that are going to be damaged opposed to full health sites. Taking out that J7W2 is enough to be able to flip the zone and get us our defensive badge, and now we're coming up here and looking at this P228. He has the same guns that we do, so we're kind of being a bit rude there by paying him back with his own ordnance. Getting guns on the LA-15. We are well above the altitude comfort zone for this airframe, but you can see we're still able to sustain our flight because the versatility of this platform just lends itself so well to operating wherever it needs to go. Granted, we weren't at super high speeds when we had climbed up to about 9,000 feet, but we were able to keep control of the aircraft and keep these guns up and running, which lends itself to this particular battle mode. We see that we only have 1 bomber left on the other side. Oh, they made it through. We only need to get 2 bombers through, and we've got a hefty amount of bombers up here, so all I got to do is kill that aircraft and we should be good, right? We just got grade 2 multi-roll. We have a lot of aircraft down here. We just got killed by that J7W2, unfortunately. Thought I could survive in a head-on considering we both had 30mm cannons, but guess he likes to prove me wrong. Alright, 6 seconds till we come back. We should have this. They're so close. What just happened? We just lost our last bomber in that flight. We were so close. We only needed 2 more aircraft to make it across into the zone, and they just lost those aircraft now. I don't even know how that happened. I'm going to throw up a GG here, and then I'm like, alright, game should be ending. Game should be ending any second now. It's just one of those things where it takes a second. It teases you like there's a chance. But Then I realize the timers pop back up, and there's actually another flight inbound, 2 more flights inbound in fact, and the defensive sites are coming back online again. So it looks like I may have just come in here a little bit too deep into the enemy furball to try and get a bit of vengeance before the game ended, but it didn't end, and I just lost my engine, and I am in a turning fight with a Hawker Hunter, so we're kind of SOL at this point. I should have left the zone immediately after realizing that that flight was about to come in, but it's not that big of a loss. We got 12 seconds, and now the respawn's actually closer to the bomber flight, so I'm going to take that as a good sign. Alright, so we're going to hop back into the match here, and oops, didn't realize there was more bomber flights. I guess I will get back to work over here. So we fly back up into the mix here, and we are about to get our bombs back in 30 seconds, but look at this. We got an XF-90 coming in. Everybody's shooting at him. We got a few hits in, and now there's another XF-90 coming in. He's already damaged. Fortunately, we've got the last hit in there, so we got some good points off of it. No joy on the HG3. He's just moving too fast. Need to pull more lead. I'm misjudging. Again, still not back into the groove on this airframe, but we did get that P228, again giving him a taste of the Aidens. And now we're dropping the nose and shooting at a smoking wreck, but you know what, before this zone flips, I'm going to drop these 2 bombs. I'm going to put the guns on because I realize that these are 30s, and 30s are quite powerful, so I might as well get a little bit of damage out there, and that allowed us to be able to finish off that zone. I always say there's no reason to shoot at ground targets with your main guns. But I guess that's not entirely true, right? You can shoot at ground targets with your main guns. It is effective. If you're also dropping your underground ordnance. You already got your nose pointed down. What do you got to lose? But if you're a fighter aircraft, like a true fighter, and you're just shooting ground targets, what are you doing, man? So we had that F-86 was on our tail, but we're faster, so we got a little bit of distance. I turned back around, and in a head-on, I got the damage output on him like tenfold. Like, what do you got? Some machine guns? I don't think so, man. These are 30s. Get out of here with that nonsense. We're going to come up from underneath this bomber grouping right here, and you know, you see those specialist wings. It might as well be a bullseye, because that's the first thing I'm going to do. I know it's a player now. I know it's a player. I think it's weird that we have these marks. It might make more sense to only have those marks in the name list, because then you're like, oh, they're a specialist, but does it need to be on the aircraft itself? There we go. We just got Hero of the Sky badge off of that one, and another LA series, an LA 160 this time. But we're already up to 28,000 personal points, guys. Unfortunately, it looks like the bomber flight's down to the last bomber in this group, but it was enough to be able to distract him, because look at this bomber flight. He's already here. I don't know if it spawned here, or I just forgot about it, or what, but, you know, we're going to head in here and try and do what we can to finish flipping the zone and keep our buddies safe. Click, 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 click. Come on, let's go. We pretty much have that site taken at this point. I'm relatively sure that if we can kill an aircraft that's attacking this bomber flight, it'll be in the zone, and it should flip in about a second or two. You can lose a bit of the zone, apparently, from dying in it, so that is a mechanic that still holds true here as well. Come on, where are you? Where's my sweet spot? Got him. There's the enemy HG3. Just an absolute tank of an aircraft. Even when we do get hits with these 30s, they're not making a lot of damage on him. But you know what? He has a mission to do, and that mission is those targets up there, so he doesn't have time to screw around with me. So if he's got to take a few stray shots from a Hawker Hunter, he's going to go ahead and take those hits. Might as well throw a few shots into that LA-15, you know, remind him that we're still here and that he can't just ignore us. I think we might have burned him out there, and there was actually Gleb. That was the same one that we were dealing with earlier. Alright, so we got the player heavy, and I realized that that's actually all they got left is these 2 planes. We managed to get Ace and Flying Protector here, and we got, what is it, that Flaming Sky medal. They just took out the only player left, which was the F-86A, and game over. And look at this impressive rack of medals and 34,000 personal points. And we still had like 20 aircraft left for respawn. So this event, what is it, Rolling Thunder Bomber Escort, what an interesting setup. It's been a while since I played this, but you know what? What a lot of fun. Let's get back to the hangar and see what this actually netted us, because I'm sure that this is going to be a huge payout. So, some people complain about this game mode, but here's the deal. It's a 15-minute game mode, so slightly longer than a normal battle, like double the time, essentially, but since we're on ×5 weekend, and it's a tier 10 plane, and we're advancing the crew, we're accelerating the crew experience, like 64,757 experience and 319,000 credits. And we got a ton of medals, and I will argue with you that those medals are just a result of the battle going longer. Because, yeah, I killed 21 aircraft, but it was a never-ending onslaught of planes. There was tons of stuff to shoot at. We put 46,000 damage into ground targets. Like, we were just going ham. So be able to get a grade 1 should be essentially a foregone conclusion. If you're flying your plane right, you're having a decent game. But look at this pilot experience, 132,751. Like, what is that? I don't I mean, we're looking at a pilot that does need quite a bit of experience to unlock another skill point. It's going to be, 539,000, but up until a minute ago, it was like nearly 7,000. So, yeah. Wow. Yes. Yes. ×5 experience in this game mode. What a great experience. Long battle, but great time to be playing. And, I've flown 2 multi-rolls so far tonight. I flew the F-84F. I flew the Hunter. The F-84F, I was on the same team as Wogster, another good player on the North American server. And we were on offense both times, and we were able to decimate the enemy each time. In that battle, we decimated the ground site so quickly that we were able to get enough bombers in by just the second wave. So we were able to get through all the waves. I think that was our last bomber flight coming in. Like, we were down to just a few bombers. That was a very close run, and here we are with just amazing results. And, who doesn't like seeing the Hawker Hunter out there doing its best to try and take on the enemy? And, hey, by the way, not a bad way to try and get some of your specialist work done, because you got all the time in the world to go after those AA targets, and you're flipping zones because there's so many that you need to convert. So you can see here that we were 10% towards our specialist in one battle and a ton of Chiefs. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the video, and as always, I'll catch you on the next one.
Always getting closer. I'm marching till it's over. Just like a soldier.